of the school district. I have no personal professional interest that could conflict with my ability to hear this in an impartial manner. I note for the record that this is an expedited request, which limits our time frame in hearing this matter and concluding it. Let me explain what we're going to do. Each party will have the opportunity to present its case through the testimony of witnesses and the introduction of documents into evidence. The other side will be able to cross-examine those witnesses and enter in and examine any documents before they're offered into evidence. At the conclusion of it, as I said before, it's an expedited hearing, so it has to be concluded within a very strict time frame. So a decision will have to be rendered within 10 school days after today's hearing date. Well, before we continue, let me ask Ms. Clark, especially, do you have any questions concerning the process? Just what we're going to be doing
I wouldn't
today.
understand it, to be quite honest, the process. So far I haven't, so.
All right. I know for the record that I had tried to have a pre-hearing conference with the parties. I did contact Mr. Quay. I was unable to get Ms. Clark on the telephone number. I had 2 telephone numbers.
Right, that number was disconnected.
I understand. I'm just saying because we didn't have a pre-hearing conference to explain this. So let me ask you, before we talk about the issues, let me just ask you, do you have witnesses, Mr. Quay?
Yes, I do. We're prepared to go forward today.
And who are your witnesses going to be? So I'd like, in addition to me wanting to know, I would like Ms. Clark to know who they're going to be.
Okay. Well, before I even disclose the witnesses, I did want to point out for the record that on behalf of the district, on November 19th, I served 5-day disclosure on Ms. Clark. The 5-day disclosure.
Just tell me who your witness.
I would get to that. In the 5-day disclosure of exhibits, I named the following witnesses. Glenn Stewart, that's Stewart, and he's the chairperson of the CSC, Assistant Director of People Personnel Services. I named other witnesses, but I'm not going to be calling them today. The other witnesses are Christopher Farrell, special education teacher, Jennifer Lopez, school psychologist, and Odette Wills, and she's the principal of Bayview Avenue School of Arts and Sciences.
Well, you say you're not going to be calling them today. That means you're not going to be calling them.
I'm not going to be calling them at all. For purposes of 5-day disclosure, as you know, with time constraints, I have to disclose any and all witnesses that I potentially may call.
So there's only one witness that you have, is that right?
I'm calling Glenn Stewart, Odette Wills, Christopher Farrell, and Jennifer Lopez, 4 witnesses.
Didn't you just say you're not calling them today? I'm
sorry.
confused about what you're saying. Are you calling them?
In my 5-day disclosure letter, I have